Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I should go ahead and put this up. This is the evening of December 4th. And, I put out the two videos actually the last couple of days about the fact that there was a 72-hour alert that was put out. Hello, everybody. I'm not going to make this long. I just want to make sure everybody's aware of this. It is being discussed a little bit in the media, but not enough to my satisfaction. So that's why I'm doing this. Now, this 72-hour alert could have to do with these war games that are going on in Korea. But I must tell you that real military action happens under the guise of military drills and war games. That's why, when you have these war games, whether they're in Europe, back when we used to practice in Germany, with the possibility that Russia would come across the Fulda Gap. When we would have our war games there, the Russians would go on alert, and when they would have their war games, we would go on alert. So just because there's a war game or a drill going on doesn't mean that it isn't a serious situation. Now, what I just wanted to show you here is that it could be this North Korea thing, or it could be also, as I said before, that there are some problems going on inside our government, and that, of course, the military is going to have to take care of this because of the corruption in so many of our three-letter agencies. But whatever it is, the fact of the matter is that something is going on that you need to be aware of. So I'm putting this up. You'll notice this is Al Jazeera. One of the things I do, and this is a good example of that, is that I don't use one source. I'm going to show you two here, but of course I use more than that. But Al Jazeera, of course, I mean, this is Al Jazeera, and they're talking about it. Okay, so this is just an example of one source that I'll use to get this information. This is put out today, 4th December 2017, and it talks about the large-scale exercises that are going on in Korea. And of course, this is very dangerous because of, obviously, the threats that are being made by both sides. So you can see that this is a fairly significant article here in Al Jazeera. Okay, now this is a scheduled drill, as it turns out, but it's different than the last few. And I'm not going to explain why. I want you to go to the articles if you want to and read about them. You can go on Google and type in Al Jazeera Korea War Games Start Korean Peninsula December 4th, and you'll get this article here. And then this is Fox News here. I think you can see that right there. Okay. North Korea says U.S.-South Korea War Games intensifies nuclear war threat. And, a lot of this is saber rattling, like I said, but it's a very dangerous time when you consider what's going on here. They said that there's some different things about this one, of course. It's the type of nuclear delivery systems that are being tested, and the number of people, service members involved in this, is 12,000, according to that right there. I don't know if you can see that, 12,000 right here. And the timing is certainly appropriate, as it says there, for, some of the difficulties that we're talking about with the dangers involved. So the fact of the matter is that during this war game, this 72-hour alert is definitely on. And this, combined with, like I say, the situation in the United States with all the difficulties that we're having here, this just... again, I just want you to know that this is going on and that you can check these things out for yourself, even though the mainstream media isn't talking about them. Okay, so this is part of the 72-hour notification, but like I said, there could be a lot more to it from here, so keep your eyes and ears open just in case. This may pass by, but who knows? I don't know, but I want you to be aware of it anyway. Also, we're seeing some things with this whole deal with General Flynn, and I'll probably talk some more about it either tomorrow or the next day. I'm not sure. keep abreast of these things with Tracy Beans and with Scott Anthony and Imperator Rex, as I explained, and you'll be able to again keep your eyes on the horizon and your ears on the ground. Okay, let me see if I can answer anything here. Let's see if I can. I'm going to turn this around just a little bit. There. All right. Yeah, I thought I'd get on camera here just a little bit so you can see. Is alert for all military. Normally, that's not the case. It depends on the readiness condition and the type of unit, which is what I explained in the last 2 videos that I did. Not usually everyone. It depends. It depends on a lot of circumstances. In this case, probably not. It's probably mostly Air Force personnel or Special Operations Forces, people like that, or those types of units or those types of individuals. It's not like everybody in the military would say, hey, you know, you're on a 72-hour alert, although that's not an impossibility. That could happen as well. But the ones that we were talking about were basically specific individuals, specific units. And I think this is probably a good deal as to the reason why was this thing in North Korea. Again, though, war games and drills are a cover for actual operations, just like they are with false flags, right? To cover an actual incident like at Las Vegas. They had drills running, or on 9/11 they had drills running, and they actually had drills about, you know, the airplanes hitting the World Trade Centers, and then it really happened. So, or 7/7 in London. You know, things like that. So you have to be, you know, at least have your radar on when these things happen. So at any rate, the people that I was talking to, they were primarily, I think I can tell you, Air Force. Okay, I think I can do that without it being any real big problem. All right, and they're CONUS. That means they're in the continental United States, and they were told about being ready in 72 hours. Okay, and again, I don't know whether it meant from the exact time that they got the notification, or if they were told that they have 72 hours after they're notified. That I would kind of doubt, though. That almost defeats the purpose. So I think it's what's going on right now. On issue with new HR 30 bill trying to be pushed. Let's not go there right now. So excited to see your live stream the first time ever. Oh, really? Iran, is it getting shelled? I am hearing some things. I can't verify them right now. I'm hearing some things about there is a missile exchange, some missile exchanges. Sorry, it's late here, between Syria and Israel, but I haven't found that on Drudge or anywhere else, so I don't know if that's for sure or not. So that's the reason why I haven't discussed it. Okay, it's only when I can verify, like with something like this, that I'll give you information, you know, that I can back up in some way. So here we are. Something's definitely going on, and I just wanted to make sure you all knew about it. Let's see, the booms. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. New Q posts. I think, like I've told you, I'm not too concerned with the new Q posts. In my estimation, all the important information was put out up through about the 24th or 25th of November. Frankly, I'm not even, I'll casually look at them, but I'm not getting much from them, frankly, honestly. Tonight, I might add this, on my Twitter account, somebody asked a question as to why the timestamp was 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m., 0430 hours, because, you know, they thought the Q was here in the U.S. Well, Tillerson, Rex Tillerson, I'm not saying he's Q, but it could be somebody with Tillerson who is now in Europe. I think you should know that the State Department, the Secretary of State Tillerson is in Europe. And so it could be that somebody with his team is putting out those Q posts with that timestamp. But I'm not getting much substantive from these new Q posts. I'm just not. The earlier ones were definitely something to be concerned about, and I did some linguistics tests, some cadence, sentence structure, and other things to find out, you know, if that was the same person every time, and it wasn't. And we know that there were probably several people on this team, but this new set, I'm really not too impressed with it. Okay, I'm talking too much. Okay, Rothschild dead. I don't know. Who knows all the stuff that's going on there. No, I don't think Flynn's flipped on Trump. But you know, while I'm talking about that, maybe I will say this because this is kind of important. Uh, I have a very good friend in the Republican Party, and he called me up tonight, and he's really scared. He sees this obstruction thing trying to be pushed through, and of course, you know, I'm not completely sold on whether Mueller is on Trump's side completely or not. I think he's in the gray area. It would depend on who wins, you know, which side Mueller ends up on. So I don't trust him completely at this point, but. This friend of mine wanted me to make sure that we tell everybody that this coup is still underway. They're still trying to do it. And so we really need somebody with, he called it juice, or I'll just say, you know, somebody with some power in the House or in the Senate, the U.S. House or U.S. Senate, that can get behind Trump, because nobody is, not even Rand Paul. I mean, the closest we've seen in the last few days is maybe Orrin Hatch. And don't gag me, okay? You know, Orrin Hatch wouldn't be my first choice. So I would hope and pray that some people, some high value hitters, some big league hitters in the Senate and the House, U.S. Senate and House, you know, three, four, five of them get together in the House and in the Senate, and get out there and support Trump. You know, say this stuff is nonsense and we're not going to put up with it anymore. So we need to start, I think, putting that alarm out there, that request, that demand, really, because Trump is just standing out there on his own. This is the most disgusting, despicable thing that's ever happened in American politics, as far as I'm concerned. And it's because Trump is trying to restore the constitutional republic. And none of these bastards, none of these paid for politicians and cronies, bought and paid for, you know, want to step out. But, you know, if they don't, they're going to lose everything. You know, they think they're going to be on the winning team. They'll be eliminated in the end as well. So again, while, you know, there's a lot going on here with all of these investigations, DOJ investigating the FBI, as we find out, this whole thing with, I never can get his name right, Strzok, I guess is how he pronounces it, whatever. The point is with all this going on, Trump is still alone. He's still up there pretty much all by himself with no support from the House or the Senate, and it's just ridiculous. So we need to be aware of that and be very, very careful and demand that some people stand up with Trump to stop this nonsense that the Dems and the deep state trying to use Mueller, even if he's waffling Mueller on one side or the other. This is still a very dangerous situation for Trump and for all of us. Okay. Um, Let me see what else we can do here. I still, wow, this is going fast again. It's amazing how that happens. Let me see if I can slow it down some. Okay. Uh, Loretta Lynch was arrested. I have not heard that. I'm sorry, I haven't. I apologize. I don't know anything about that right now. Um, yeah, I think that our American defenses would probably shoot down any North Korean missile, but you just don't know. You know, war is fluid, and it's a gamble. So you really don't, you can't bet on that. Personal alertness and preparedness. I've said all along: prep, pray, stay out of the way. You need to have at least 2 weeks supply of food, water, medical supplies, things like that, and a weapon to protect yourself with from the roving bands. Okay, not going out and hunting, you know, trying to take on the American military. First of all, that's not necessary, and that's not what you want to do. But you're worried about people like Antifa and Black Lives Matter and ISIS and, you know, common criminals. Those are the things you're really worried about. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to talk about anything else tonight. This is what I wanted to get out. So let me show you this one. The EMP, electromagnetic pulse, it happens when there's a nuclear detonation that takes out all electronics. So that would mean that your cars won't work, your radios, your computers, you know, anything electric that you have. Yeah, North Korea is CIA. Okay. Um, Again, I don't know if I'll sue there is talking to me or somebody else. I really don't care. I just ignore those types now. What is so special about Monograph? Go watch him, okay? Look at what he does, especially when he puts together those videos where all he does is he shows you a computer screen and outlines it, and then has, you know, scenes from different movies and things like that, because those are really pretty incredible. Okay, I'll show you this one more time, and then I'm going to check out here. So there is something important here. This is a scheduled drill, apparently. However, it's different than the last few that they've done, the last many that they've done. And this is probably what the 72-hour alert is on, but it could go either way, okay? And of course, there's the Al Jazeera screen as well. I wanted to show you that. All right. Okay, everybody, I'm going to head out. I don't want to stay up late again tonight, although I'll probably wake up when more information comes in and somebody alerts me to it. But I'll try to keep you abreast on what's going on. So this is critical that's happening here right now. This is a show of force by the U.S. and by South Korea, but these things are dangerous situations, okay, just like it says right there. All right, and keep an eye on what's happening here domestically too, okay? All right, out here, everybody. Have a good night.